Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm assuming most of you who click on this video are coming after watching Scott's Thoughts Parasect race. But even if you don't, allow me to introduce myself and explain what this video is going to be all about. My name is Ike the Killer and I'm a Spanish content creator. I usually stream on a very daily basis and play tons and tons of games, mostly JRPGs. Of course Pokemon is not an exception and I'm also a Gen 1 kid, so I really love Scott videos. So, when I discovered he was planning to host another race after the Porygon one, I said to myself, hey, let's do this! I'm sure it's going to be very fun. And, spoiler alert, it was! I really love doing this. This video is going to be my full run of the game, from start to finish. A Pokemon Yellow speedrun with no items in battle and only using Parasect. I wanted to showcase every single thing I did, filled with human mistakes, RNG, and all that kind of wacky and fun stuff this video should be about. So, for the next 40-45 minutes or so, you're going to be listening to my voice reacting to my own run. Keep in mind, all of this was played almost a year ago, so it's a shock for me as well. Feel free as well to mute this video and put some cool music on the background or something if you don't like listening to me. No, really, I know it's a very long video, and jokes aside, I'm really grateful you are watching this, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So, let's get on with it! Oh, by the way, if someone is wondering why those names, why my rival is named BK, this is because it's a reference to the Black Knight, which is basically Ike's enemy, rival, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's more complex than that, but I don't want to go into spoilers. But like, those come from the Fire Emblem franchise, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, which are among my favorite Nintendo games. So, just as a quick note. Okay, let's talk now about Parasect as a whole before we start with all of the hard fights and everything. Parasect actually, it's very good for this kind of runs. Like, it's really good because it has a boosting move in growth, which increases its special, which in Generation 1 acts both as your special defense and your special attack. So you take hits better and you also deal more damage. But also because it has access to Spore, which is a sleep-inducing move, and in Generation 1, sleep moves are broken. I mean, the sleep status condition is broken. Because if you're faster than your enemy, you can basically... you cannot die. I mean, you can put your enemy to sleep again and again and again and again, because they always waste a turn sleeping up. So, thanks to these traits, as well as a decent attack stat that actually Parasect has, it also learns Body Slam, which is among the best moves in Generation 1, and it also has access to Dig, which is very good for the rock types and the Ghastlies, Gengars, and Hunters of the run. And in general, poison types, which he's actually weak against. So he really has a lot of the good tools you need to succeed in these kind of runs. So this is actually going to be a very fast run in comparison to many others that Scott has done. So I believe he probably thought about this. I mean, he most likely saw this one coming. I mean, I'm pretty sure he knew Parasect was going to be a good choice for this kind of race. Like, he's a very good Pokemon. Maybe it was even better than he expected, but I think he really saw that this was going to be a fun and very good Pokemon. So, in reality, there aren't many tough fights with this Pokemon, but we still have a lot of challenges. Like, the good thing is that the really first 3 hard fights of the run, which are Brock, and Goldeen in Misty's gym, and Rival 2 in the Nugget Bridge, those can destroy your run, but they come so early in the game that you can just reset. So there aren't really any problems with those. Like, if you fail at this, you can just restart the entire game. However, oh my god, a Pidgeot. However, I believe in this run I actually had troubles with Rival 2. But I mean, you can afford to restart the run, but in this case, like, I remember I was having a lot of pressure when I was playing this run. Like, this was the last day where you could submit your run. I have already done previously successful runs, but I wanted to do a better time. So like, I was trying one time after another, and I was very tired and very anxious in this one. So I think I actually didn't restart when I lost that fight. Spoiler alert, I lost against Rival 2. But okay. Okay, so let's go with Brock. I mean, thanks to Leech Life, we actually don't have many problems against the Geodude. Like, we are just losing some HP. But the real problem is the Onix, because Onix is faster than us. And Brock has access to a lot of full heals, so like, we cannot paralyze him. But thanks to Gen 1 mechanics, we can put him in the paralysis status and we'll be faster than him. As long as you don't get really RNG screw with binds and leeches and everything, you usually win this fight, but it's possible to lose. I mean, he can't just really... If the game decides he doesn't want you to win, you don't win. But okay, as you can see in this case, we won at the first try, and I mean, we will continue the run. There is actually an interesting fight now against a Young Trainer, I think they're called, because I play this game in Spanish, that uses an Ekans, which you start hating in this kind of runs. You will see why. So like, these fights, as you can see, are actually pretty easy, because Parasect has a good attack stat. It also gets the boost from Brock Badge, but mostly because between Scratch and Leech Life and its very good stats, at this point of the game, he's actually doing a lot. And this is the trainer that actually can destroy you. Ekans is faster than you and can use Wrap, and if he just wants to spam Wrap, you lose, because you cannot do anything. As you can see, the attack continues and you cannot do anything. And it also has Poison Sting that deals 4 times effective damage against you, so if you are very, very, very unlucky, that trainer can also screw your run. But, and I mean, I remember back in the Discord when we were sharing our clips and everything, a lot of people were hating on this trainer because of that. And many really said like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm losing consistently against this trainer with a random Ekans is destroying my runs. But yeah, it happened. I mean, there are worse later in the game, not Ekans or anything. But I remember that one was actually, I hated it as well in my first attempts. And oh yeah, in this part I remember, because I haven't mentioned, usually you want a flying Pokemon, and the best, fastest way to get one is if you find a wild Pidgey on the Green Forest, but I wasn't lucky enough to get one. And the other chance you have is back in that grass where you saw I fought a monkey. I was actually trying to find a Spearow, but I didn't have luck either, so I decided to keep the run going. There's also another chance later in the run where you can get a Doru, I believe, which I actually believe it's the one I actually ended up catching. And I can't believe it, because that was like the wildest thing ever. Like, usually if I don't find a Pidgey, I usually restarted the run, because I was like, no way, I'm not going to win this. I mean, I'm going to get like, what, 20 minutes in the run, I won't have a Flying Mon, and what am I supposed to do? Also, I remember we really hated all the RNG in the wild encounters in this area, because after this you get repels and you aren't bothered with wild encounters, but at this point of the game you have to deal with them, because in yellow you cannot buy repels. And no joke, this RNG really decided a lot of times. Like, many players just won over another only because of these encounters. So I was really, really on my edge. Oh yeah, I forgot. This Team Rocket fight is also a difficult one, but this is part of my strategy. Like, usually you get at this fight at level 17, and if you are at level 17, the Ekans outspeeds you. So it's again a Wrap contest. If you are unlucky, you lose. But because I used that rare candy before, and that extra trainer with the Magnemite on the Voltorb, I was level 18, and at level 18 is a speed tie, and that's actually something that gave me more consistencies. And so we have reached Cerulean. This is where the Goldeen, the dreaded Goldeen, oh my god, the stuff of nightmares. I hated this Goldeen so much. It outspeeds you, it can use Peck and destroy you because it's 4 times effective. You just saw that, like, oh my god. This fight, so many resets, so many resets. I hated that Goldeen so much, we all did. In the Discord, oh my god, the amount of clips, the amount of hatred on that Goldeen, my god. It was terrible. Misty is easy because, like, she can only use Tackle, and you have Leech Life, which is super effective against the Starmie. I mean, you can still lose if you are very, very unlucky with critical hits, because the Starmie has a very good critical hit in this generation, but usually it's an easy fight. So we are going now against the other difficult fight, which is against Rival 2. Oh yeah, at this part I forgot that I have to pick the rare candy here. And this is the fight that I actually lose. Sorry, spoiler alert. I remember I lost this fight, I think, because this fight has a lot of things going on. Like, first of all, the Spearow has Peg, so it's the same as Goldeen, but it also has Growl, which can ruin your attack. Then there's this Sander who has Sand Attack, so you can miss. And like, you know, when the CPU uses Sand Attack on you, you miss everything. When you use one Sand Attack, they don't care, they still hit you. And like, you can see how in this case I'm like about to lose, they're lowering my stats, a lot of tail whips, and I end up losing. Like, I'm not doing this. So I believe in the second attempt I did it. I mean, this is actually one of those hard fights of the game. Like look at that, like look, if the Spearow decided to use a Peg another time there, I did. I lost this fight again, but I was lucky enough to that thing didn't happen. And I mean, yeah, this is very luck. I mean, there really is nothing you can do. There really isn't anything. It's really luck. I mean, there's no point in training more time or anything, but especially because this is so early in the run. Like, we are only what 11 minutes in the run. Like, you can just restart again if you lose against the Rival 2 fight. So from now on, I mean, you can still, if you are very, very unlucky, you can still lose maybe against Surge because it's very inconsistent. But in general, I would say until Erika, we are safe. We're safe. Right, we are usually safe. I mean, oh yeah, I remember this PG also has Sand Attack. There is also that last that has 3 PGs, I believe it was, yeah, with Sand Attack later in the run. But I mean, I'm not considering those a threat, but you can still lose, right? Like, death is around there, death is behind every corner. The seconds is no longer a threat because you're faster, you are higher level. I mean, yeah, I believe this is part of the game now with the Nugget Bridge and the Rocket later and everything. I mean, there isn't any trouble here. Only that you want to keep your PP, because you can see there in the screen, like my Scratch PP and my Leech Life PP, because if I lose all my PP there, I need to go back to the Pokemon Center, and that's actually a lot of time waste. So you need to really know what trainers to fight and which moves to use. Because, for example, I need Leech Life to one-hit KO the Ekans, but I shouldn't use it against the Zubat, which, by the way, can also use Supersonic and screw you. I grabbed the Charmander here because I need that for... What do I need that for, actually, in this run? Ah, yeah, for Cat. Because, like, I don't need Dig. I learned Dig. But yeah, it's for Cat, because I'm not going to use Cat in my Parasect. I fought this Hiker, I believe, because it's guarding an Ether, which is useful to ski... an Elixir, which I use right away, yeah. Because the thing is, I don't want to visit another Pokemon Center until after Surge, so I can dig in the Diglett Tunnel and go back to this town. So it's a faster run, yeah. I mean, I'm improvising everything I said here. Like, sorry, I'm not very used to making videos. I'm more of a streamer. Like, this thing, like having a script and rehearsal and everything is very new to me. I believe this makes more of an authentic vid as well. Like, this is a live experience, I suppose. Okay, but I don't know. So sorry if you find me like, what is he saying? Why is he now thinking about something? How can we upload this to YouTube like without proper editing? And I mean, I don't know. I really thought like this was a very fun thing to do, and I really enjoyed it. So I really wanted to upload something. Even if I'm not really that into uploading bits, like I say, I'm more into streaming. But I mean, I hope it's not really distracting you and you are still having fun and enjoying this. So we grabbed the Dig TM, which is actually very useful because it's a very strong move. and the ground coverage is very helpful. We can now hit the rock types, like would be annoying because we don't really have another way to deal with them. And it will also help against fire types, because like unless you are a Charizard or a Moltres and you are a fire type, you are weak to ground moves in this generation. So that there are a bunch of Growlites and Ponytas, and then with Blaine there are the evolutions. But like, yeah, this is the last, the rapping last. Oh my god, I watch Scott videos too much. Like, this was the last with the 3 Pidgeys, but I was lucky. If you don't see a scent attack, you are happy, because this is another fight you can lose, because as you can see, you need 2 scratches. Okay, so at this point of the game, I remember I sell items and I have to buy the super potions for the rest of the game and the repels. So like I say, from this point onwards, you need to use these repels to avoid wild encounters, which will take some of your time. So I go into this room because that's the TM for Body Slam, which is like the best move ever in this kind of runs. If you have watched the Scott videos, you know this already. Like, it's a very strong move, like 80 or 85, I don't remember if it was changed, but like 85, yeah. Like 85 power with a chance of paralyzing, which is super useful for this kind of runs. And very spammable, very good PP as well and everything. Like, if your Pokemon can learn Body Slam, you use it. Like, even in competitive, in Gen 1, basically, if you have Body Slam, you use it. Because Paralysis is just that good. Yeah, this is also one of the reasons why I didn't sell the full restore, because this Ponyta can burn you if you're very, very unlucky. Even crit you and you lose, but like, you're really hoping that's not going to happen. But okay, this rival fight is easy because you got Body Slam now as well. You can see, like, before we need to use a lot of scratches just to defeat them. Now we just Body Slam and he's gone. Like, look at this, he's gone. So I think, yeah, I'm using a potion because I don't want to use my super potions, which are for later parts in the game. But if you are very, very unlucky against Surge, he can Mega Kick, crit you, and you die. So I think that's the reason why I healed here, because like I said before, like, I was very anxious, I was very nervous, I didn't have much time left. This was the last day I could submit a video, so like I was like, okay, I'm going to be as safe and consistent as I can, but I still need to make a better time than my previous one. And okay, if I remember correctly, the Surge fight is very easy. I just use Dig. Yeah, I mean, you use Dig and you won't hit KO it. So like, it's very easy for Parasect, but again, if it paralyzes you or it crits you, it could be trouble. Yeah, I remember I had so many runs ruined because I forgot I need to pick the bike voucher here or the Squirtle here. So this is why I always do them after the fight. And now you go to the Diglett tunnel, you use Dig here, and we will go back to Cerulean City. So like, we actually need to pick up the bike now because you need it later for the cycling road. And I think this is the only instance in the run where I actually use the bike. I believe, like, I mean, you can also use it in the Victory Road, but I'm not very confident on doing that. And I think this was the only time in the entire run where I actually used the bicycle. Oh, this is the Rapping Lass. Yeah, but in this run with Leech Life, they really have no match for me. And I remember at this point of the run, I was concerned and worried because, like, you need to have a flying mon. You need to have Fly as your HM. And I was like, I haven't found anything. Should I continue this run? I mean, usually there's this feeling like, well, I don't need to overthink. Maybe I will just miss this run and I can start all over again. But like, after Surge, I usually go all the way down to the end, because like the hard fights that are later, they aren't reset free. I mean, you can lose against Erika, you can lose against Blaine, you can also lose against Sabrina, and that's expectable. Like, there aren't really any foolproof strategies against those. But I was concerned. And yeah, I also remember it took me a few tries to remember the exact path in this tunnel. And I find it funny because as a kid I never used Flash for this. Like, I mean, okay, maybe in the first the first run or something. I was like, oh no, Flash is a terrible move. I don't want to waste a move slot on my Pokemon. So I actually ended up learning by heart. And it also reminds me of a friend of mine that actually poisoned one of its Pokemon, just so the ticking damage of the poison actually flashes your screen. So that way he was actually able to complete the tournament. I would have never thought of that. I really loved it when he told me. And like, I don't know, I think it's a very funny story. And oh yeah, I remember at this point, like, you learn sport at level 30, but the experience management was a bit away from it. So I fought this trainer that has a Grimer and a Mach, so that you level up to level 30, because you definitely want to spore Erika, because the fight against Erika can go very, very poorly if you aren't lucky enough. And I think this was actually faster than fighting a bunch of trainers on her gym. And yeah, I also remember this subway thing. Like, there's a nugget here, but I'm sure I didn't find it. Yeah, you see, I didn't find it on the first time. It was like, oh no, but I need this nugget, I need this money. And I wish I would have gotten better at that. But okay, so we got to Celadon, and this is mostly the half of the game. And from this point onward, I think I started to differ from other competitors, because I believe nobody actually picked that PP up that I did, or many people didn't when I was on the Discord. And I actually never did the rocket hideout thing, because I thought this was a waste of time and I wasn't particularly well adjusted to it. But I found out that getting this rare candy, it's actually faster for me than getting the one on the Victory Road. So I only pick that one up and leave. And that actually ends up saving me like 15 seconds or something, I think. Because I used to grab the one on the Victory Road, but you don't need to, and you can get this extra one that I never get before. So I think that was a good thing for me. And here we have the Erika fight, which I think it didn't went bad or anything, I don't recall it. But like, yeah, if you are lucky, you can put them to sleep and then just hit her hard. The real problem is the Weeping Bell and the Gloom, which have acid and can kill you because yeah, look at that damage. Like, I actually was a bit unlucky a few times that they crit me, and if they crit you, you are dead. Because like, really, you are dead. But if you win, like, if you are not that RNG screw, like, you usually win this, because with Leech Life you actually get ton of HP back, so like, and you're not that bad screwed with the sleeping thing. And I think now I actually went to get the flying HM, and I was like, okay, I remember reading on the Discord, like Scott said, okay, I went to the Morphers. Like Scott said, but if you don't get a PG or a Spearow, you can always get a Doduo here on that grass. And I mean, I know there are Doduos, but I was like, is this really reliable? Like, I can really do this? And I actually ended up catching one of those. And yeah, I remember here, like, this is the right order, like, pick one of each first, so you can just spam here the button, and you don't have to worry, because usually I would buy 2 fresh water, but this actually is faster. And you need to manage well the money here, because you need to buy the Carbos now, so your Parasect can outspeed. Most importantly is outspeeding Koga's Venonats, because by that point of the game I don't have growth yet, so I cannot badge boost me. And actually I think it wouldn't matter, because you need Koga's badge to badge boost your speed. And look, there's this Doduo, and I was like, oh my god, I only have one Pokeball, and I have no idea what the catch rate of this thing is, so like, I was, okay, I would put him to sleep and just use a few Leech Life, which he should survive, and I ended up catching it, and I was like, oh my god, if that thing wasn't inside the ball, I would have to restart entire run. And I think, okay, now I at least have a Doduo for cool style points or something, because I bet, I absolutely have no idea, but like, I bet not many people actually did this with a Doduo. Like, why would you just catch a PG or even a Spearow if you are not that lucky? I went to Saffron just so I could fly there again. There's this rival fight, which is easy. Like, never use Body Slam here, because it doesn't kill, and it can use Mirror Move, and if it uses Mirror Move on your body slam is bad. So like always put it to sleep, and then yeah, the rest of the fight is very easy. But I remember this Ghastly is actually ruining a few of my runs too. Like yeah, everything is danger here. The floor is lava. Like everything is dangerous here. Like the Ghastlies can paralyze you and confuse you, and you know what that means. If the RNG doesn't want you to win, you lose. And there are a few trainers that you need to fight. I think you need to fight this channeler, and then you can yeah, you see, they paralyzed me. And it was like, no, I don't want to lose here. And then you can heal, so that's why I didn't bother healing after this. But like yeah, this can be a run killer. You need to pick that elixir, and yeah, that elixir, the secret one, I didn't pick it many times. A lot of my runs didn't pick that one. And a good thing is to save here before using the repel, because I usually use the repel first and then save. But since I'm not sure if this actually happens in the rest of the game, but at least in Generation 1, if you do that and you have to restart, you lose the repel and the effect is lost as well. So like, don't do it. And luckily for me, at least, these two fights weren't that bad in this case. And I mean, you can lose 2 against Jesse and James here if you are very unlucky, which I wasn't in this one. But I have the feeling like actually it wasn't that easy, because I think Meowth used Growl or something on me. Like yeah, I remember like 2 Growls, and it can glare you. Yeah, if it glares you, it can be trouble, because then Weezing has a sludge and that can kill you as well. But yeah, I was very nervous. Like even watching this, I'm nervous right now. Like, oh my god, look at all those misses. Look at all the turns it's taking me. This should be an easy fight. And I actually need to manage those dig PP, because I need to fight an extra trainer now on the cycling road to get the exact experience. I remember, yeah, buying the Super Rebels here for the rest of the game, and we are set then. And actually, I want to thank Bandman here, which was also another one of the competitors here, because usually I remember it clearly that I was struggling in this portion of the game, like what was the best route to go here. Maybe I should use the rare candies and fight the rival in the sealed building or something. But he really helped me a lot with this. Like, no, you can just do this, you can get the exact amount of levels fighting these 2 trainers that I actually fight here, this biker and the other one then, which is on a lower section. And you after that you actually outspeed the Venonats, because I was really worried, because not outspeeding the Venonats actually puts a lot of pressure there, because they can toxic, and if they toxic you are dead basically. But yeah, I didn't consider fighting this biker actually, which gives you enough experience, so you reach the exact amount of levels you need before Koga, so you can use your rare candies there, because growth is learned much later. Yeah, I really want to thank him here. Of course I did back in the day on the Discord, I just remember, and I thought it was the right thing to do to mention that, because he really helped me a lot. And I mean, again, I also want to thank everyone actually, because I mean, I don't want to list every single player, there were many of them, and I sadly don't remember the names and every single contribution they did, but I really want to emphasize that it was an amazing community. All of us helped each other, all of us laughed at the funny clips we did and everything, and really it was wonderful. I mean, I'm really looking forward to do more races, especially because of the community was so nice and so helpful on all of us. Like, I never did this kind of things before. I never did any kind of a speed run like this or anything like this, and I was worried like, oh my god, maybe people are going to find me boring or idiot, or oh my god, why is this guy asking so much things, so many questions and everything. But no, like really, everything was very positive, and I really can't thank them enough. And yeah, so we need now to dig out of here. We grab the strength HM. I also remember that Scott actually was helping each one of us, like, yeah, first teach, what was it? Yeah, first teach strength, just because first teach surf, sorry. So strength gets on the first slot, because you are going to use strength more than surf. You only need to use surf one time. So like, yes, just do it like this. And I was like, why should I? And then now it's really true at this part of the game. And I remember this could also be turbo. No, these fights weren't really that hard. I believe there's nothing that could go wrong with them. Maybe some crits or something, but like, nah, this is nice. I mean, I only worried about keeping your body slam PP actually, because you kind of need that for Koga, because the strategy for Koga after using those rare candies basically is you put them to sleep and you kill them before they wake up, and only the Venomoth is going to outspeed you. And usually if the Venomoth is not that bad, you win, because it will use Leech Life but doesn't really heal it that much, and you can just put it to sleep, and Body Slam is a 3-hit KO, so even if it toxes you, you're fine. But like, yeah, you see the exact amount of rare candies there with 5, and I still keep that one that I picked on the Rocket Hideout, because I didn't pick that one before. I usually, in other runs, I usually don't pick that one. I usually didn't pick that one. So I was with exact 5 rare candies, and then I picked the one on the Victory Road, but I was thinking, yeah, I can save this one for later. Because the one on the Victory Road, if you don't remember, it's actually hidden behind a rock, and you need to actually be very precise, because at 4 times speed is a puzzle that you can easily screw up. But yeah, I'm glad that the strategy actually paid off. And now, if I remember correctly, we will go to the Sylph building. Yeah, exactly. Because we need to do what the Scott actually likes to call mandatory fights, which is the rocket guarding the Carbos and the earthquake, and then grabbing the key. Because with that exact amount, yeah, you see this rocket, with that exact amount you are going to level up to 42, which is when you learn growth, I believe it was. And yeah, and at this part of the game you still have one more trainer with an Arbok, and then I will finally learn Mega Drain, which is going to be your move. Yeah, you see, this is going to be your move. You no longer need Leech Life for the rest of the game. You need... I also remember I used PP up on Mega Drain, so because I was worried against Agatha much later in the game, I would run out of PP. Yeah, that elixir. I always forgot about that elixir as well, usually. But you see, after try, you end up remembering everything. Yeah, yeah, I remember. So I didn't get growth here. Oh my god. You can see like my memory, what it's doing to me. This memory, yeah, but yeah, you don't need it. You just can power through this. Yeah, because yeah, you can just put these things to sleep, and nothing really threatens you because you're faster than Flareon, and you won't hit KO it with Dig. So this part of the game is also very easy and without many trouble. I remember the next challenge is going to be Sabrina, because there is absolutely nothing you can do to outspeed the Abra, and the Abra is going to use Flash. And you know what that means? Like, one accuracy drops means the entire fight can go to waste, or it can have absolutely no impact on you. And I think it wasn't bad in this run, but oh my god, we shared a lot of clips. Like, we were thinking like maybe we can do Sabrina later, we can go first to Blaine on everything, but it's like, no, just deal with it. Assume you're going to get flashed, and if you're lucky enough, it will only be one flash, and if you're even luckier, it will use X defend, and that's the best case scenario. If it uses X defend, you are done, because then you only need to worry about the kinesis, but they usually, at least it's not 100%, I mean 50%, because I mean Abra doesn't have any other move. But yeah, oh my god, and I'm remembering now, please grab the Mimic TM, please grab the Mimic TM. You need to go now here to the house to pick it up with the Pokédoll and everything in the copycat. And I was like, there was this one run, I remember it clearly, when I didn't do this, and I found myself against Lance, which is when you have to actually learn Mimic to steal Ice Beam, and I was like, oh my god, this run is ruined, there's nothing I can do, and I had to restart. The pain, really the pain. Oh my god, the pain. But well, as you can see, this Sabrina fight is actually not going that bad. As long as Alakazam doesn't crit you, it's fine, you don't die in one hit. And now we have to go against Blaine, which actually is another one of the hard fights of the run if the RNG is not with you. Because much like Sabrina, there is absolutely nothing you can do against Blaine first turn with Ninetales, and if Ninetales uses Flamethrower, you're dead. Like, just reset immediately. And yeah, but now I remember it better. Like, now it's when I use the rare candies to get to the 48, I believe, which is when you learn growth. Yeah, at 48, yeah, where you learn growth, and from that point is when you start using the badge boost glitch, which I mean, I think I can explain now. I mean, I believe most people will know by now if they're watching this video, but in Gen 1, basically when you use or are hit by a status changer in move like Growl, for example, that lowers your attack, or Agility that increases your speed, there's actually this glitch that the game applies a universal buff, like I think it's 12% or something, with each stage that it's lower or increased. So, for example, when you use Agility, you are increasing your speed by 2 stages, but the game is also increasing your attack and your defense and other stats depending on the badges you have. And this is crucial because thanks to that thing, actually, Parasect can outspeed everything because you can just use growth 6 times and your speed, you're going to see it there on the stats on the lower left side. You're going to see now when I use my growths that my speed is increasing, and thanks to that you can actually outspeed. So this is where you have to pray. Yeah, it used quick attack, so I'm safe. And now I need to use growth, and I remember I was like 1, 2, 3, because the game is so fast, like you don't have time. Like I need to count this thing, and you can see especially it's +6, and my speed has increased, and now I'm faster than everything. Yeah, I also remember I put this thing to sleep because if you miss for whatever reason, it can use Fire Blast and kill you. It can also crit you, and crits ignore your boost. So I was being safe here because usually, but this point of the game, I was like at 38 in other runs, and I was like, okay, this is actually a fast run. I can do this. But that means the pressure is building up inside me, and I'm getting more and more nervous each time. There is the Giovanni fight now coming up, and I mean, it's usually not a hard fight, but Dugtrio can use Scent Attack or can use Fissure. And if it uses Fissure, you lose. And if it uses Scent Attack, you can lose later. So I was nervous. There was actually a run when it used Fissure 3 consecutive times, like 3 resets. It used Fissure and I lost 3 runs, and I was like, no, I can't believe this. So I have some PTSD things with this Doctor as well. Not as much as the Goldim, but it's dangerous. But yeah, and if you're lucky, you just put it to sleep, then use growth a few times. I was lucky that it used Earthquake as well. It could have used Fissure and ruining everything. And like, yeah, you can see what's going to be the strategy from the final fights as well. Just put something to sleep with a Spore, which unless you get one of those nasty Gen 1 miss thing, is going to be there. It's never going to miss. Then use growth. Once you use enough growth, you are faster than everything, and you kill everything with Mega Drain, because Mega Drain is super boosted with all those buffs. And yeah, I also forgot to mention it. If you level up during the fight, you lose all those invisible buffs. Those 12% buffs are lost. So you need to keep your experience perfectly as well, because this is why actually using the rare candies is important, because the rare candies are going to reset your experience points to 0 of that level in that way. So yeah, I remember this rival fight wasn't hard, like, yeah. And now after the level up, I use the growths. That's why I didn't set up on the Sand Slash, because I knew I leveled up. And I mean, honestly, I wasn't keeping really track of these things. Like, I'm not keeping track of how many experience points I need for each level up or everything. And I know many players did actually on the Discord. So really, I admire you all for having that kind of dedication. But I only did it by experience. Like, okay, I know I'm going to level up this and this and this in these points of the games, because I'm going to do just this exact amount of battles. So that's why I knew when to set up my growths and when to not set up the growths, like for example against that Sand Slash. And oh, I remember there's also a little story here. Like, I remember one player on the Discord server post a clip here because he didn't use the repel that I'm right now using. And there's a chance you can fight wild Fearos there, and he found one. He tried to escape, it didn't work, and the Fearo used Drill Peck, which is 4 times effective, and it killed his Parasect. And it's like, okay, I would have never considered that could be a thing. And I was worried from their points. Yeah, you see, I skipped, if I went to the right, on there I could have grabbed the extra rare candy, that I usually pick. But since I picked the one on the Rocket Hideout, I skipped in here, and that actually saves you a lot of time. A considerable amount of time. And also, yeah, I remember there was also another time where I was really going very, very fast, and I clicked on the Charmander before the Squirtle, and Charmander used Dig. And he dug me out of the cave, and I was like, I have lost like 2 minutes, this run is done. I'm done. Like, seriously, I can't even remember how many times I did this thing, like how many full attempts I did on this kind of run. Like, I'm pretty sure I tried over 500. I don't want to say more because I don't remember, but over 500 attempts I'm pretty sure I did. I'm absolutely sure. And actually, I remember my last run was ruined by Agatha here. Like, literally the previous run of this, like I played them on a row, one after another. I got RNG screwed. I remember she used Confuse Ray, then she switched, I missed a Spore, then Golbat put Toxic on me. Then at the next turn I got Crit with Psychic several times, and it was like, oh my god, Agatha literally ruined my run. I mean, sorry for not speaking about Lorelei 5, because I mean, unless you get a nasty critical hit, because if you get a critical hit, actually, you won't kill these things. But usually this fight is free, and Bruno is also free. I remember I was struggling, considering if I needed 5 growths or 6 growths or something. I think I going up with 5, I think, because like you just don't one hit KO Machamp. The rest are done. But yeah, I go with 5. And like I'm just remembering every of the terrible tries that ended up here in Agatha, or just scratching barely the record I wanted to set up on the time. Those days many people were actually streaming their attempts, and we were all watching together, of course cheering up each other, because like I said, really there was a very positive community. We really cared for each other, and we were always striving together. Like, we were not fighting against each other, we were actually supporting each other, and I think that's actually a beautiful thing. I'm pretty sure there are competitive folks and people who maybe hated the other one. I mean, I hope not, but on the surface, really everybody was very positive and a very good person. Yes, die Golbat, die! Now this is the point where you no longer need Dig, so you delete it for Mimic, because I mean all of Land's Pokemon by the Dragonairs are immune to Dig, and you don't need that against the rival either. You need to use here, you need to learn now Mimic, which like I said in other runs I forgot. And you need to batch boost your way through Gyarados and then just steal the Ice Beam. And I also remember losing against Lance a few times, because this Gyarados can just go for Hyper Beam. I mean, if it crits you, it kills you. And it happened. Like, you would say, no, but that's, oh my god, that's so unlucky, how that could happen. It's like, yeah, but when you are doing this like 500 times or so, it's eventually bound to happen. And yeah, but you can say you just put them to sleep, you grow, destroy them with Mega Drain. Now I steal here the Ice Beam, and with Ice Beam both Aerodactyl and Dragonade stand no chance. And I was looking at the clock, because like, if you know, Scott considers S tier less than 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm not going to make it, I don't have enough time because of that reason. But I'm sure Parasect can actually do in less than 45 minutes, and that was crazy, because like my first fully run, I think it was over an hour, and I was like, okay, maybe I can skip what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but it's like, no, I could actually skip almost 20 minutes from my previous time. And that was crazy. And yeah, I was remembering that I don't have to use 6 mimics, 6 growth, sorry, because I'm going to level up later, and I actually need that extra growth, because otherwise the Flareon is faster than me. So I need to keep counting to 5, and oh my god, this Executor is waking up so fast. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it was 2 Mega Drains and 2 Earthquakes. You need to steal Earthquake for doing damage, because you need that Earthquake for the Flareon, and it's also good against Magneton. Now you need to use another growth here because you have leveled up, and now this is done. I mean, now you just Mega Drain the Cloyster and you just Earthquake the Flareon, and the run is done. And this is actually a very crucial moment for me now. Allow me to explain why. So you see, the run is over. I mean, that is the exact moment the timer stops, when you get that rival line. So this is what actually Scott, and it was stated in the rules, it was when the timer should stop. But I don't remember already. I really hated when it happened. Like, I didn't know why either. But apparently my OBS recording stopped there, and I didn't even know back in that time, because like I was yelling. I was like, yes, oh my god, yes, 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 because this time was faster than my previous one. And like I said, it was like what 3 hours, 4 hours or something until the deadline, where you could not submit any new runs. And it was like 7 a.m. or something here, because I live in Europe, in comparison to the time zone there that was Canada. And I was like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, I want to go to bed, I want to sleep, I want to do my things and everything. I was on holidays, but still. And I was worried, because although the timer stops there, so like, I mean, we don't care, we don't need to see the credits, we don't need to see you going to the Hall of Fame, seeing your Parasect on the PC and everything. You don't need that. I mean, that is not counted for the run. But Scott actually wants that. He in the rules it was specified that he wanted that, because he likes to keep it for his I don't know the word, like for information, like, I mean, for his slots, for everything. I mean, he wants to keep track of that information. And I was very, very worried, because like, I wasn't going to do another run after this. And I mean, you have seen the RNG that is involved. Like, maybe even if I kept trying and trying and trying, maybe I didn't actually get a better time. So I was really worried, like, is my run going to be accepted? Like, you know, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it happened, because it was an accident. I mean, it's nothing I could have done, because I actually realized after. I mean, when I was searching the recording, I saw that it stopped there, like a few seconds later there, and I was like, why has this happened? Like, I'm so happy at least it happened there, because like, okay, at least I have the run, you see, like, I mean, and I don't know, and I'm happy that he actually accepted my footage, because I mean I haven't seen the vid yet. I mean, by the time I'm uploading this video, I haven't seen his vid, so like, this is going to be a surprise both for you and for me. At the time of this recording, I haven't seen the Parasect video, of course, because it has not been yet uploaded, and I don't know, but he told me that it was accepted, so I mean, I'm happy with it. But I don't know how much I will be shown on the video or not, but I know I am part of the race. So, like, just like I said back in the day, I really want to thank him for actually accepting my footage. And actually, well, as you are going to see now, I won part of the competition. At least I don't know what ranked I have, but the three faster one would get an avatar, which you are going to see here. This is my little guy. It's named Riku, my OC. That was drawn by Sol, by Scott's videos artist. She's amazing as well. I want to thank her for everything. all the patience she also had when I was giving her the references and everything for my character. She's an amazing artist, and I'm so happy I was able to get this commission out of her. Like, go follow her. I will leave the links for her in the description as well. But like, I don't know. At this point of the game, like, this has been a quite a tough journey for me. I really had a lot of fun doing this. Like, I really did. And I would probably do it again. In fact, if Scott actually does another race or another event or something, I will most likely take part on that, because I really like this kind of stuff. And well, of course, I want to thank all of you, every single one of you who have actually watched this video. Like, if you are on this part of the video, I couldn't really thank you enough. Thank you so much. Like, I wasn't even sure if I should do this video, but I think it was the right thing to do. And I also have a lot of fun doing this, reacting to all of my old shenanigans, seeing what happened, and telling a lot of these little stories and things that happened back in the day. Like, I mean, it was very fun. Those are very fond memories. I will always try to keep on my mind. So yeah, thank you very much. Hope you really liked the video. I don't know what else to say. I hope you like it, of course, and if you want to leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever, I would really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. See you soon, my friends.